We like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
It's Supernatural Hour.
Woohoo, we're back.
But yes, because of the extra hours that work is lurching. He won't be here with us this week, unfortunately, because of the extra shifts he has to pick up. We didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long for an episode, so we are bringing you one now. It should be a good one. We're talking about ghosts.
Really?
Yeah.
Ghosts?
I never would have thought. We haven't talked about that for so long.
No, I know. It's been a month. This is our show. Listen to it. Listen to Deanne talk about residential investigations.
Well, let's take care of business first. Let's get that out of the way.
Listen to Dawn talk about the business.
We did present a Zoom web meeting where we talked about the things that we did during the year, both from an apps and a WISP standpoint.
It went well, and lots of people attended on the Zoom.
Yes.
You know, Zoom kind of sucks in a way, but I'm glad that we have it in this day and age because any get-togethers are better than no get-togethers, I think.
Yeah.
So in person's always best, but I figure Zoom is better than, staring at your ceiling for 9 months on end.
And we do have some things in the works for January, 8th and 9th?
And December, actually. Don't forget December.
Well, December, that's coming first, right?
Yeah, I think you should talk about December before January.
Oh, okay. She's like that.
In the words of Haley Mills, let's get together. What do you say?
In December, we are, as a Apps WISPs team, encouraging people to donate to the Utah Food Bank. We'll see if we can get some links up onto our web pages for donations there to help support the community. It's kind of a tough month with COVID to do in-person activities, but there are things we can do to help people out that are in need of help. And so we thought, as a Supernatural Hour WISPs and Apps group, we encourage our listeners to donate to the Utah Food Bank. So we'll get some links up for you.
Yeah, and then in January, hopefully the Utah COVID restrictions will lighten up so that we can do our investigation there. But we're going to stay positive, and we'll have more information for that.
It's going to be a place. Well, it's a place we've investigated before a number of years ago, and it'll be really exciting. It's in downtown. It's a warehouse in downtown Salt Lake.
Yes. If you've been to it, it's awesome. We've not been able to go to it for quite some time because they had some structural issues, not structural, but plumbing issues, and it took them a while to get it fixed.
Do you know how many times I have scheduled this location for just our team, because there's a lot of members on our team that have never been to this location before. And it was literally like every time the day before I was supposed to go, it got canceled because one of the times they found asbestos in the building and they had to remove it. And the next time, it was literally the day before, the pipes burst and they had to fix the plumbing. And they got it fixed, so I scheduled it again. And guess what? The pipes burst again. And
I know.
I just got to the point where I've decided the entities and spirits in this building did not want me to go back.
Yeah, I know that you have. You booked it several times years and years ago when we first started. And I know you've been trying to since. And actually, it was kind of a fluke. One day we were driving up to Salt Lake for something, and I thought, I wonder. And so I called the guy that's in charge, and I just said, I didn't call him, I texted him, and I just said, hey, your building, can we get into it? And he's like, yep, it's good. We're actually just there a couple nights ago, and he sent me some pictures and some EVPs, and I was like, sweet. So it was kind of an on-the-fly thing, but I was super excited that it's available, and I hope it stays available. So
maybe with you being the one that scheduled the investigation, it will work, because every time I do it, it's like, nope.
So you just have to pretend like you don't know about it, so you don't jinx it.
I don't know about what.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's the one.
I blacked out there for a minute.
Yeah, if anybody has been following us or investigating with us, from the beginning, this is a place that actually walloped Tim pretty good in the early years. So you've got some history with that place.
Yeah, we go way back.
You go way back,
Yeah.
and not necessarily
like 5-6 years ago. We go back that far.
not necessarily you guys aren't the bestest of, but
We had good times.
But it's a really active place to go.
It was the best of times for them and the worst of times for me.
Yeah, it sucketh for.
And you know what I thought was funny is when that investigation was over, after everything that happened, I heard the story of the dead bird without a head in the basement. And even with everything that I went through in this building, I was upset that no one got a picture of the bird. But we did get that awesome.
I remember that.
We did get that awesome picture, and I think it's on our website, the wisps.org. Someone took a picture of the curtain in the basement, and that thing was like warped. And I believe we picked out like 8 different faces in that photo alone.
Yeah, and I think if you go to wisps.org and go to media and then slide down to where it says photos or pictures, it's there. You just have to scroll down, and we've circled on there where the faces are. So there's the picture without the circles, and then there's the pictures with the circles. And that's one of my favorite pictures, actually. Anytime we do presentations, I'll usually use that one because it's a cool picture.
So I think that's the business. We've got some other things in the works that we're thinking about doing or wanting to get done, but we need to, figure out the COVID thing.
Yep. So, all right, on to investigations. So since we've last podcasted, we've had 2. One was actually some close friends of mine. They just gave me a call one day, and they had just a lot of activity. They had pictures that would fall off their wall, motion in the home security cameras, and not motion that they could see, but just, the home security would just alert them there's movement in your house, and so the guy would run home from work and everything would be fine. They would feel a presence in their kitchen area. It's a married couple, and one of the clients was Dutch, and he suspected that one of these entities was his father. And so, we asked, and sure enough it was. And so we actually had the man ask his father questions in Dutch because he was getting a little better answers. The father did understand English, but he seemed to respond better in Dutch, so we let him do it in Dutch. Anyway, long story short, because...
So are you going to tell him about the questions and how you're answering the questions? Give him a little information.
Okay. So we were doing the dowsing rods. And again... like we talked a little while ago about the lady we did in Spanish. Well, I don't know Dutch either. I've been to Holland, and I learned a few words, but not enough to understand what this guy was saying. In fact, I don't know that I think I understood when he said papa, because papa sounds kind of like...
Like papa.
Like papa. So I'm like, hey, he's addressing his dad. So again, I'm sitting there holding the dowsing rods, and nothing... nothing for me. The dowsing rods, yes, no, and at a certain point, we're like, you're getting relevant answers that make sense. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. So again, that was kind of cool. So I've dealt with 2 different languages I don't know. These are some pretty good friends of mine. So, and with anybody, doesn't matter if you're a complete stranger. We don't like to divulge too much information. And this one was pretty personal between a father and son, and they'd had. In his early years, a little bit of a falling out, and basically by the end of the investigation, after all was said and done, they were able to reconcile a little bit, get past a few issues, that both the father and the son had, and it was kind of heartwarming to see some old hurts addressed and be able to get past some misunderstandings. But also in this home, the husband of the client said, there's a spirit in here that's just really playful. It would grab their feet at night, and they said the impression I got from them is it wasn't so much scary as kind of startling. And why are you doing this? Anyway, after some investigation, we determined that it was a female Native American. She kind of likes to keep watch over not only the property, but this couple has 2 children, and she likes the children. She never had the opportunity to have children herself, and so she's kind of in a protective, semi-parental mom kind of a role. And I think all the spirits ended up staying, didn't they? I think everybody was happy. We determined that the dad was just trying to get the attention of the son so that he knew that he was there and trying to, get his attention so that they could reconcile, but that was kind of fun.
And the clients were good with them staying.
Yep.
It hadn't been a problem. It hadn't been a dark or entity. They just had some things missing and a picture that was falling off the wall and
right. And the
things,
couple
they addressed that.
they weren't afraid. I didn't get the impression that they were afraid. They just wanted to know what and why and try to get it to stop to a certain degree because it might break the pictures. So the other one we did was just a couple nights ago, and this was an interesting one. The client sent me a couple little clips from her video surveillance of orbs, and she actually sent me quite a few. She sent me probably 7 or 8, and of the 7 or 8, 2 or 3 of them I thought, I think that's a bug, but some were definitely orbs. And when it comes to orbs, and as Tim can attest, if you see them in pictures, we usually throw them out. Tim, what are your thoughts on photo orbs?
They're ghosts. No, orbs. When I first started investigating, I was all about the orbs and pictures and my videos. And the more I did this and the more I learned, I kind of stopped leaning towards ghost orbs as evidence. I was actually telling someone about this last night in a video game that I've been playing recently. It's called Phasmophobia, which Phasmophobia just is literally the fear of ghosts. But it's a game on Steam on the computer where you have a group of up to 4 people and you've got all of your equipment and stuff, and then you go into the house with your K2 meter and your spirit box or parabolic mic or whatever.
Oh, COVID's got you bad. We need to get you on more actual investigations.
And I've been playing this nonstop for like a week. You go in and you try to figure out what the ghost is. And one of the pieces of evidence that you can get is a ghost orb. And I was actually telling my friends last night, I'm like, that's not legit evidence. Like, I know it is for the game, but most of the time an orb is going to be dust and people will be like, well, my house is clean. And that doesn't matter. Infrared's going to pick up any little trace of dust that might be flowing through your house. And usually when we see that, it's going in the way the air is flowing when you have like your AC on or your heater on. If it's got a very discernible pattern that the orbs are going in, chances are it's dust and sometimes you might see something erratic, and a lot of times it's a bug. Like moths are really good at looking like orbs, and so are flies, and it's just their wings and other things on their body are reflective. I mean, there's so many variables when it comes to orbs that prove that it's not a spirit. To get an actual one that's a legit orb on video or photo is in my opinion very rare. Right. Now, I have seen orbs just with my eyes without the use of equipment, and that I think is more likely. But again, you can't prove that you saw it. You just have to kind of go off of...
Right. So where I'm at with orbs is pretty much where you are. If you send me a picture and there's an orb in the picture, I'm going to say that's really cool, and for your sake, I hope it's paranormal. But I'm not going to say, ooh, it's paranormal, because like Tim said, it could be reflection, it could be a bug, it could be, there's a word that I can't think of right now, but just some little, photography anomaly. But if...
A lens flare, too. It could be
right.
a lens flare. There's just so many variables.
Right. But in a video, what I'll do, if I'm in a home and I'm doing an investigation, I'll turn the video on. And every house, no matter how clean you keep your house, there's usually dust. And so you can kind of see the dust flow. You turn, you keep going until you can see dust flow. You watch where the dust flow is. And then if an orb comes and goes in a direction that is not a bug, and by not a bug, if it's straight over and down, or, that I will give some credibility to.
Or if it manifests like in the middle of the room, because usually a bug, you'll see them start on one side of the camera and like maybe go halfway and then go back, or they'll follow some sort of
and they'll do kind of a
pattern,
zigzag, and a lot of times bugs will make kind of a cigar shape, and not a circle. And so as I'm looking at these videos that she sent, I don't know, about a third of them I thought, no, that's a bug, that's a bug, that's a bug. But she had just enough that moved in such ways that I thought, and then she had one, it was probably one of the later ones that she sent, and all of them came from the same area, so it's like...
It was from the same security cam. She had a Wise security cam that she was recording.
And they all, but not so much the bugs, but the majority of the orbs all came from this kind of the same direction and went the same direction. And then in one of them, kind of off to the right-hand side, there's probably 8 to 10 that just come right at you, all at the same time. And it's like, that's not bugs. I'm sorry.
And completely different flow than everything else
Yeah.
had been.
And I'll see if I can get permission from her to put this up on the website. And Tim, I'll show you this in a little bit. But it's like, I don't think that's bugs. And so we would have gone out anyway. But it was really interesting. So she was a skeptic, and she said, I don't think this is really anything. My sister told me to call you, so I'm calling you. So we went over, and she didn't really have a whole lot of activity. The daughter had some things in her room that were thrown, some things that were tipped over.
They did have a missing laundry hamper.
Yeah, they had a missing laundry hamper full of lingerie.
To the point that she actually had called the condo management area to talk about this, the security and things there. Had people come in and taken it, kind of thing. And it's like, and she's trying to think out, why would somebody steal my laundry hamper and leave the TV and stereo?
Right. Well, because they have a fetish.
There's people out there.
There's those fetish people. So after doing an investigation, we found out that the daughter had played with a Ouija board at a friend's house, but the spirit that they brought through had opened up a golf ball-sized portal in her bedroom. So we had a talk with her, and she was cute. We teased her all night long, and hopefully she had fun and doesn't think I'm a jerk. She was smiling the whole time, so I think we're good. But hopefully she won't play with Ouija boards anymore. Don't play with Ouija boards, kids. Bad stuff. We cleansed 2 mirrors. One was a portal, and one just had a lot of energy on it. And then the most interesting thing that to me was upstairs in the kitchen, and the way this apartment was laid out, the kitchen was on the
middle floor.
On the middle floor, but it was like 2 floors above ground floor. But there was a big portal in there, and it was like a major thoroughfare. But where this portal was right above the living room, and it was exactly where these orbs were coming down and going out. And we determined that it was, through the investigation, that it was like just a major hub, and it had a conductor per se, that kind of kept guard. It was a good portal, but it was kind of a major portal. So we left that one open because they said we shouldn't close that one. And then the grandmother of the homeowner was there, and they wanted her to stay in spirit. And she just didn't want to pass. She was a little bit afraid of death and just wanted to stay and hang out. There was also 2 male spirits and a female spirit that were just there. They weren't. One was kind of cantankerous, but not bad, not malevolent of any sorts. And we said, these people don't want you here. And all 3 of them just said, all right, peace out, butterflies, and they left.
Yeah, it wasn't even one of those, where you have to help escort them out. It was like, hey, they don't want you here, and.
Right. But the interesting thing, there was the homeowner that was, she didn't believe in ghosts, and she had her sister there, which is the sister that made her call us, and then the daughter, who's actually quite sensitive, and she was a believer, and then the son, who was skeptical. And by the time we left, the son was like, I think there's something here. Now, granted, the son was like 13 years old, so it was a lot of grunting, but he was smiling by the end. And then the homeowner was like, you know what, I think I'm a believer. So that was an interesting one.
They saw his face, so they were a believer?
Mm-hmm. And then we said, hey, we're the monkeys.
Whoa.
I don't sing for a reason.
See,
sorry.
we even got that reference.
Was it the Monkees?
It was the monkeys.
I listened to the Smash Mouth version.
That's a much newer version.
Okay, so just in case you missed that, we are a lot older than Tim.
Only by 40 years combined. They're not that much older. Yes, so I have some sad news that I have to tell you.
Sad news? We don't like sad news.
Well, being that this is coming out today, Wednesday the 18th of November. We're in November, right? November,
yes.
Yes. Unfortunately, last Friday the 13th, was the last day that Family Tree Restaurant was open.
Oh, no.
They are closed down for good.
They're officially closed?
They're officially closed. Yeah, Leslie is trying to sell the restaurant off so she can retire, and she's ready to move on with and go
in the physical realm, not the spiritual realm.
Yeah, in the physical realm. Yeah, she wants to enjoy her retirement and doesn't want to have to worry about the business anymore. So they've officially closed, and there will no longer be investigations there. Unfortunately, For everybody that's listening, fortunately for me, I got in the weekend before and was
awesome.
one of the last few people that got to investigate before they closed down.
So how'd that go?
It was very interesting. They had actually cleared out the basement. There was nothing in it.
I've seen pictures. And I've heard that Lucy is pissed.
She was moping in a different corner. She normally was in the corner that was on, when you go down the stairs, on the left-hand side. She was on the right-hand side. So, but I even, like, when I got there, I FaceTimed with Brandy, and she told me, I mean, I could feel the energy was different, but she told me, Lucy standing in the other corner. And the spirits, they were upset more about the fact that it was cleaned, but they don't really seem to care too much that the building's going to be sold to somebody else.
Uh-huh. So do they have a buyer?
I think they have one lined up. I don't know if they've officially closed on it yet, but they are working on trying to sell the building. And the new owners, I don't know. Like, I mean, I did put up on Facebook, if you didn't see it, I'm willing to take donations of $400,000 so I can buy a haunted building. It may or may not be Family Tree. It's probably going to be Family Tree. If I if I had that kind of money, I would love to buy that building. But unfortunately, yes, it's they've closed down and there will no longer be investigations there.
Oh, sad. Well, unless we can sweet talk the new owners into letting us in.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, it depends on who buys it.
We'll find out. And maybe we'll have to do some serious sweet talking. So don't hold out hope.
Yes, there's still.
Yes, don't hold whatever
hope.
you do, don't hold out that hope.
Don't hold out hope.
Don't lose hope. Hold on to your hope.
Hold on for dear life.
I cleaned my bathroom just a few minutes ago before we started podcasting, and I breathed in too much bleach, and now I'm like super tired. Like really tired. I wasn't tired before the bleach, and now I'm really tired.
And this is why we say no alcohol or drugs on an investigation.
Or don't sniff bleach.
It impairs your judgment and your ability to do things.
But my bathroom is clean.
So we're going to have to say no drugs and alcohol in the investigation, and don't clean your bathroom before you come.
Yeah, don't clean your bathroom. Don't sniff bleach before you come on an investigation.
So I'm like super tired. So that probably won't be the first stupid thing I say today.
Well, see, if it makes you super tired, that's definitely something you don't want, because you don't want to investigate when you're tired, because again, you're not fully there cognitively, and you could open yourself up for something that you don't want.
Exactly.
So that's how the sniffing bleach ties into the paranormal. See how good I am?
You're very good.
Sometimes. Only on the weekends.
Well, I'm sad about Family Tree.
I mean, I am too.
But I'm holding on to my hope that we can sweet talk the new owners.
Me too.
It was on TV. How could you not let people in if you buy the building?
I don't know. Maybe you get one of those. I mean, there's a lot of places that have been on TV here in Utah, and they don't let people in just because they don't. They claim one thing. I've heard about some places where they say, we don't want a lot of people coming in here. We don't want to investigate because we don't want to stir up the ghost. And then you find out they're running their own investigations, which is fine. They own the business. They can do whatever. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places here. And we've run across it before.
Yeah.
There's places you're like, wow, this is haunted. Can we investigate? And they're like, no, ghosts aren't real. Go away. So if you get like a really skeptical person that doesn't believe in the paranormal, then...
we could go out and sit in the parking lot and like talk to Lucy from our car or
Petition.
something.
I can talk to Lucy from here if I wanted to. I don't want to.
I just mean the general public.
And in case if anybody's wondering, because this question did come up on the investigation, just because the building is being closed down or whatever, doesn't mean the spirits are going to just like, okay, we're moving on. Like, they'll stay.
Yep, they'll still be there.
That's just kind of how it works. Even if the building was torn down for whatever reason, it doesn't necessarily mean that the spirits will leave, because usually spirits are attached to the land itself and not the building. Like, they might be attached to an object in there, and if like that object gets removed, they might go with it. But as far as like if it gets torn down or whatever, the spirits are still going to be there. They're not just going to be like, oh, no one's coming here anymore. Peace out.
Right, because Lucy is in charge of that portal. She keeps that portal open. She lets things in and out that she wants let in and out, and keeps things out that she doesn't want in. And the portal is still going to be there. Lucy will still be there.
Yes. And so the Skinwalker and all of the other spirits that are in that building.
Yep.
They're not going anywhere.
Do you have a stone of the week?
No. Nope, I don't.
You got your cool stone of the week.
I don't know a whole lot about the stone, but we went to Moab this last weekend, and I think it's called a Ulexite. I think it's spelled Uxelite, but it's got these super cool kind of fiber optic properties to it, and so and it looks like a selenite. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, it's a selenite, but it's not. And if you ever go to Moab, you have to go to the rock shop, because if you don't go there, I don't know, something bad will happen. But they had this paper on the ground, and they had the name of the stone written about 300 times in different fonts and different sizes. So you'd think I would remember what the thing was called. But the stone has got these fiber optic properties to it that when you put the stone down on a printed word, it kind of pulls the name up to the top. It's not like you're looking through the stone and you're seeing the stone, at the bottom of the rock. It looks like it's like the words are being projected onto the top of the stone. It is the craziest thing. I will try to take a video of it and post it online. Don't hold your breath, because I might forget to do it. But it's cool as heck. So I think Tim just pulled it up because he's trying to talk about it.
Ulexite is also known as the TV stone.
See, it's awesome.
It is transparent in color. It's clear, silky, squarish crystal, sometimes lightly words. It magnifies. It says that in here.
Does it?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's easily obtained, and it's found here in the U.S.
I think they said it was found in Nevada. What was one of the states that it was found in?
It's probably all over.
Probably.
So some of the attributes of the Ulexite is that it's best known for its ability to magnify anything placed under it. It is an extremely clear stone and brings things into focus on the inner and spiritual levels, lending much needed objectivity and clarity. It is excellent for understanding the meaning of dreams and visions. It shows the path one should take at a spiritual level and takes you deep into the self. At a more pragmatic level, Ulexite takes you to the core of a problem, pointing out the way to resolution and activating solutions. It is a stone of revelation in the physical world. It gives you the ability to see into another's heart, knowing what they are thinking and feeling, so that decisions can be based on complete knowing.
See, I already do that. I don't need it. I bought it because it was cool and it made words pop up.
It's the best reason to buy a stone. I've done that before. There's two reasons to buy a stone. You buy a stone because you believe it's going to help and do what it says it's going to do. And then there's stones that sometimes you just have to buy for the pretty factor.
Yeah, well, there's one that's like...
And I know I've done that.
It's like, ooh, it's got black polka dots.
It's just like you look at it and like, that's pretty.
Yeah, and then you bring it home and it's like, oh, now what does it do?
It's like you sit there and like, do something. And it's like, no energy on it. And you're just like, you're still pretty.
Yeah, I bought one once because it looked like a dice. It was kind of squarish and had dots.
So its soft energy is beneficial for meditation and relaxation. When placed on the third eye, it enhances visualization and dispels negative mental energy. Balancing the yin and yang energies, it aligns the subtle bodies. Mentally, it enhances the imagination and stimulates creativity, especially in business. If you are getting things out of proportion, it helps you to see them clearly. Now, as a healing stone, it is used to bring clarity to the eyes. It is excellent as the skin elixir for smoothing wrinkles, but should not be left in water for too long, as it has a tendency to dissolve.
So I think it's related to selenite. You can tell it's different from selenite. It's got different energy.
It does, very different energy, but it does look very similar to selenite.
Although it says it's clear, the one I have is a little milky, I thought.
Well, and I've seen different variations of selenite as well. Most selenite looks milky, but I have some that are clear that you can literally see right through it.
Oh, cool. So my Ulexite is a little milky.
Now, you want to wear this or place it as appropriate, especially on the eyes and the third eye. It makes an excellent meditation stone if you gaze into its depths. So that is Deanne's stone of the week that I looked up on the Crystal Bible, where I get all of my information on stones. If you don't have that, it's like $3 on Amazon Kindle.
Now, if you're ever in Moab, Utah, they do have this rock shop, which is on the
something
north.
Ottinger's rock shop. I mean,
the rock shop.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's like one of the first things as you come in on the northeast side, but it's fabulous. Every time you go in there, they've got some different stuff. I mean, there's the stuff that's always there,
But big dinosaur bones.
But
The
if
guy's
you
a
go
dinosaur
over,
hunter.
yeah, if you go over on the west side of the store, where kind of the tumbled, pretty stones are, it's always different. They never have the same thing there. So if you go there and you see something and you like it, buy it, because it probably won't be there the next time you go. But every time we go there, if we don't go there, the kids get mad at us, and I always find something interesting. I usually walk on that side and just, so I have a little sack there. One has the Ulexite, and I just bought that because it was cool and it makes words pop up. The other one, I can't remember what it's called. I took a picture of the name, but that's the one.
It looked like ruby fuchsite. I could be wrong.
I don't think that's what it was. I think it started with an L. I took a picture. Let me see if I can find the picture. But that's the one that kind of spoke to me, and I haven't had a chance to look up what it does.
It has ruby in it, though. It's red.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
It's green with little red flecks. Let me see if I can find that. There's the Ulexite. They had honeycomb onyx, which I'd never seen, which was kind of cool looking. It is called Unakite. 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 And it was $1. That's why I got it. Well, it spoke to me, and it was $1. I was like, sweet.
That's funny, because when she was showing these to me, she's like, get the white one out. And I just put my hand in the bag, not knowing which one it was, and I just grabbed one. I said, this is the one that has all the energy on it. And it was the other one.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, I bought 2 stones. I bought the Unakite because it kind of called to me, and then I bought the other one because it was funky. Yeah, I was like, this has 0 energy, but look what it can do.
You should use the green and red one and use it to, when you meditate, and help you open more with psychometry.
Ooh, that's good. I've actually been using that more. It's been coming out a little bit more, but some help would be
I
awesome.
I think that is why you were drawn to that particular stone.
It will help the psychometry.
I think it will help with the psychometry. And the cool thing is like when you kind of master that, so to speak, then you'll notice other things starting to crop up.
Starting to pop up.
But yeah, psychometry, like everyone's got their one gift that, like, when you're first starting out developing your gifts, there's like one main one that you start with. And I've been through this myself. It's like, that's not what I want.
No.
This is not for me. But once you embrace that and you actually work on it, that's when the other things start popping up. And I mean, I've never met anyone else with psychometry, and I'm quite frankly kind of jealous because I can't do that, and I wish I could. I wish I could be able to just hold something and know things about it.
Stuff.
That would be amazing. But unfortunately, that's not in my cards.
So I'm going to give a little shout out. We have a new investigator named Candace, and she's been on the last couple of residentials I've been on. And she has not given me permission to tell the story, but I'm telling it anyway because it's fun. And
if she gets mad, it's not Candace, it's somebody else.
And my name
we'll
is
call her
something else.
Debbie.
No, she won't care. So she has voiced a desire to find out what her specialty is, because everybody has a talent, whether or not you've tapped into it yet or not, or care to or not. But she has voiced wanting to find what hers is. And so every time we go on an investigation, I'm like, okay, don't look at your instruments. Come into this room. What do you feel? What do you think? Just trying to figure out what it is. Well,
she's intuitive.
She is. And then we took her to...
I've never met her either.
You can just feel her vibes?
Yeah, off of you.
So
she's that's one of her main ones, is she's intuitive.
Yep.
It's kind of just knows things without knowing why she knows them, but she knows them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she actually said that at this investigation. But she was on that one that we told you about with the 15-year-old daughter that was playing with the Ouija board and the orbs in the videos. And so she's actually the one that found that main portal. I took her in the kitchen. I knew that there was some sort of energy there, but I hadn't really tapped into what it was yet. And she went and stood right in the middle of it, and she says, I'm feeling dizzy. And so then we, long story short, but we figured out that's where the portal was. And so she actually went and found, there were 4 portals in the home. She found 2 of the 4. So she's also a portal finder. She's a portal master.
That's cool.
Okay. So
does she know how to close them?
Not yet, but we're gonna teach her.
She needs to work on that.
Yep.
She'll be very valuable with that.
We have to practice her finding them. We're gonna kind of focus on that. So anyway, if you're interested in knowing what your superpower is, you've got one. Just kind of focus.
Yes,
You know,
invisibility and flying are the two main ones.
Absolutely.
That everybody wishes that they could have.
I'll do invisibility.
You know, that's probably a good one.
Alrighty, well, we watch the websites, advanceparanormal.com and wisps.org. We always put up new information. I got my shirt, and I wear it, and it's pretty awesome. I feel cool.
I wore mine to Disneyland and took pictures.
So do you have a Facebook feed?
Yes, if you haven't followed us on Facebook or Facebook, follow us on Facebook. Sorry, I was thinking Wisps and Advanced Paranormal. On Facebook, you have to type in Wisps, and then you have to type in Wasatch Investigative Society of Paranormal Studies. Wisps is really cool, but to say the whole name is super hard. And then look for Advanced Paranormal Services, because we post cool stuff.
About ghosts.
Yep. So, alrighty. I think we should call this an episode.
It's an episode.
Peace out, butterflies.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.